Warren. Welcome Warren Frehse from Careers and Employability, who is our senior advisor there and has been working on supporting postgraduates, all students actually, but postgraduates for us in this space. And we're very happy to welcome Warren along. Welcome, Warren.
Thanks very much, Tavita, and thanks, Andrew, for the invitation this morning. It's great to be here. Just looking at all the events you have on this year, and it's just amazing the array and choices you have. So it's congratulations to everyone involved in GSA. I've really been associated with it, I guess, the last couple of years, and I've been invited to some of the graduation ceremonies, which have been fantastic. So yeah, some really great things going on. So yeah, happy to talk to you this morning about what we do in the careers and employability area. As Tavita mentioned, I'm Warren Frehse. I'm a senior advisor in a team that looks after careers and employability. So I'm going to go through a few slides that will just talk about some of the things we actually do there. So if you could get the next slide up if possible. Fantastic. So our services range from a range of these things, and I won't probably go through every one individually, but you can see the bulk of our services are workshops and appointments. So we run about 16 different topics, ranging from information sessions to discussion sessions, to webinars and workshops. So we have a lot of interactivity, and we're happy to take questions in our workshops, and we have individual appointments as well. So if you want to cover a particular issue that we can't cover in a workshop, you can bring your resume, you can bring your particular issue in, and a senior advisor can spend around 20 minutes, even up to half an hour to discuss your issue, and you're actually making an appointment, so you know exactly what time you have, so you don't need to wait around or anything like that. Great, exciting employer talks are happening also. We have employers representing the who's who in the employers in Australia, the big banks, insurance companies, you know, you name it, they're there, and they actually present their graduate programs and opportunities for graduates. So make sure you have a look out for those. The careers fair is coming up, and I'll give you some more details about that in a moment. That's a fantastic way to meet employers directly. And in this year's careers fair, we have breakout rooms where you can talk to individual employers. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we also have mentoring programs. We've got a resume tool called Smart Resume. We have jobs available, part-time, casual, which we advertise on our job notice board on Careers Online. We have an Employ.me platform, which also means you can build a resume from scratch, a CV or a cover letter. You can get, there's an interview simulator in there, so you can download some questions and try it out, see how you can answer common questions asked by employers. We have a great lot of individual modules on our Canvas community, so we've gone digital, and we've got a great range of courses there, so that's a really exciting time for us. And we also have a series aimed at graduate researchers starting in August this year, and we're going to August, September and October. Again, I'll mention more about that as we go through. Okay, so our workshops, just there, I did mention we've got about 16 topics. These are our main ones. These are interactive workshops, and of course they're all on Zoom. The popular ones, as you can see on the screen there, we picked out some of the most popular ones. The good ones, I guess, Mastering LinkedIn is a really popular one, because LinkedIn is a great platform to be able to professionally put your branding in there and your presence and show the world what you're capable of doing, what your skills are, what your experiences are. Even if you completed the lead program, that can go in your LinkedIn site as well. So there's a number of things we do there. We also look at different job search strategies. So the days of just, you know, looking at it online and just hoping that the right job will magically appear are long gone. So we talk about being proactive and how to approach employers directly, how to use your networks, how to target employers, and to find out the particular mentors that you can actually arrange and get some information on it prior to applying for any roles. Researching industries are a really important one. Obviously the job applications, and really another important one is understanding the Australian business culture. So there are some interesting things we need to be aware of in running meetings, and how do you address people and so on in Australia. So we do cover that as well. So a range of interesting workshops we're running right throughout the semester. And we'll go to the next slide, which will cover our appointments. So I did mention that briefly, but if you're just really unsure about what you want to do at the moment, you know, we just have students saying, I've just completed my master's, I really have no idea what I want to do. That's okay, don't be embarrassed. You know, it's fine to say that, and seek help where possible. We can provide some questions to you. We can ask you a few questions. We can guide you into some various resources. We can talk about our own experiences. So these are the kind of topics that we typically address in our career advice appointments. Basically, as it says on the bottom there, anything related to your employability and your career, we're happy to handle it. And if we can't answer it, we'll get back to you. We'll certainly take your details down. So that's the appointments. We come into employer talks, and as I said, the who's who of employers are in there. As you can see, some of them are listed on your screen there. Some very popular ones there. Teach for Australia, for example. KPMG Hong Kong for international opportunities. We've got Evans Dixon, we've got Coles and L'Oreal, some of the big, really big, well-known household names, as I say, employers are coming to our employer talks, and they'll be in August as well. So make sure you look out for those, again, on the Careers Online website under events, and it's a simple booking procedure. Once you're booked in there, you're guaranteed a place. So, yeah, keep a lookout for those. Our next one will be looking at the Virtual Careers Fair, which is coming up very, very, very soon. It's Tuesday, the 18th of August. It goes from 10 in the morning till 3. This gives you a fantastic opportunity to network with representatives from organisations looking at current recruitment opportunities. So they'll have graduate roles, internships and volunteering opportunities available, and they certainly do have roles available. So it's worthwhile attending if you are in that market at the moment looking, and you just want to explore what's going on in the world of employment, particularly now with COVID-19. These employers will let you know exactly what's going on with their graduate recruitment programs, what they're deciding to do. And it's quite positive that quite a number are still continuing their graduate programs. So that's really positive to know. Okay, our next slide, we'll look at the alumni mentoring. Absolutely, very, very important area. So this allows you to connect with alumni mentors for one-off conversation. We call it Ask Alumni, and it means that you're able to connect with a past graduate in a field that you would like to potentially work in. The good thing about Ask Alumni is you can speak to past graduates working anywhere around the world. So they're not necessarily in the city of Melbourne, they can be in Singapore, UK, USA, wherever it might be. And that means you can connect on the platforms that are available to you. So these are very familiar platforms now, but pre-COVID-19, they were still using the similar platforms. So you can talk to your mentor in different time zones, ask a question, and you can work out the best way to do that. It doesn't take long to normally connect you to 2 or 3 or 4 names that you can potentially contact, and you can speak to them and have a discussion and decide whether that mentor's for you. And if not, maybe you can move on to somebody else, or at least have 2 or 3 different mentors during the time you're with us. And it's a great way to develop your networking skills and experiences, and just opening up what's going on in industry. And they can tell you about their journey because they were a graduate like you here at the university, and they can talk about some of the challenges they had to deal with and how they got their particular role. So definitely commend that one. The next one we'll have a look at, yeah, this is a really exciting thing. Started earlier this year. We're now into the world of artificial intelligence. So we've got a tool that enables you to load your resume into it and get feedback using the AI, machine learning. So it'll be compared with hundreds and hundreds of resumes that have previously been loaded into the system. The machine actually learns from that, and it will give you feedback. And it actually gives you a nice little score, a little graph, gives you a color zone, so to give you some idea of the areas to improve. And it gives very specific feedback, so you know exactly what you can do to improve your resume. Not only does it look at your resume, it's actually got a function called Aspire, which means you can actually upload your LinkedIn profile in a PDF format and get feedback on your LinkedIn profile. And you can also record a 1 or 2 minute elevator pitch introducing yourself, and it will give you feedback on how you come across, you know, your facial expressions, how you're dressing. It's an amazing tool. So give it a go, give it a try. It's really good fun, but it's also preparing you for that all important interview when you're looking for a job. So that's Smart Resume. Next one we want to cover is the job board, which I've mentioned many times, but many students are not aware of it. So please, Careers Online, there's the job board in there. There will be part-time and casual and volunteering opportunities in there, as well as graduate roles as well. So have a look at all the opportunities. Some employers will only advertise on our job board because they're looking for students from the University of Melbourne. So it's an exclusively, sometimes they'll only advertise for us and they won't be advertising anywhere else. So you need to get in there to get, as I say, the early bird gets the worm, as they say. Okay, next slide. The Canvas community, yes, exciting digital programs we're now offering. So we're offering a range of topics, and we often get students saying to us, you know, what should I do with my life? Which is that's a fine question, and we're all at any age looking at that particular question. So we decided to do a digital module on that and taking you through a series of steps and reflection questions where you can have a look at your values, how you make decisions, and a whole range of things. So what should I do with my life is actually the topic in one of our Canvas community modules. Exploring the world of work and mastering the cover letter and building a professional resume and preparing for interviews. All that's in there. And we also invite the people into that Canvas community to take a career readiness quiz, which means you're either in the beginning of your career, you're looking at exploring, maybe you're at the stage where you're actually applying for a role as well. So the career readiness quiz can give you an idea of what stage in your career search you're at. And that means we can tailor, and you can tailor certain initiatives that will relate to the stage of your career where you're at. So we think that's pretty exciting. We're linking into a worldwide community there in London, where they're looking at similar things. So we're starting to benchmark across the world, which is really exciting. And it means we can customize and start to tailor our programs more specifically to individual student needs into the future, which is really exciting for us.
So Warren, we've just got a question from one of our students.
Yes.
Kenneth, I want to allow you to talk. So did you want to ask your question or did you want to write it? You might need to unmute your mic.
Had a guess, it might be how to get in there. How do you get into the Canvas community? Maybe, I'm not sure, but if it is, I can give you a link later. I can send that to Andrew. Maybe that can be passed on. So yeah, if that is the question, but I'm just preempting that.
Kenneth, if you can hear us, you can unmute and ask a question. Otherwise, please feel free to write your question into the Q&A. Might have some tech issues there. So look, if you can just put your question into the Q&A, so at least we can address it. Thanks. Sorry, Warren, carry on. That's
fine. So yeah, no, but if the question is relating to that, I can certainly help you out there. We just recently opened it up to students, and we've got a link, and you can actually get into the Canvas community, undertake our career readiness quiz, and then start some of the modules we actually have in there. So definitely we'll be able to provide more details on that. Okay, the next slide, please.
So
sorry, did you hear me? Did you hear me then?
No, it cut out slow. Sorry, Warren. I just wanted to, we had another question come in through the chat. So the question is, can Careers and Employability team support graduate research students to apply for employment at university? Example, become a postdoc, researcher, lecturing, and teaching, etc.
Yeah, sure. So the idea of postdocs is quite popular, especially obviously at master's PhD level. We can help with applications for those particular roles, and certainly for professional roles in universities. So our area of focus is more on traditionally the non-academic areas. So the postdoc is one of those areas that is sort of in between. But we can, if it's about producing a resume or answering selection criteria required for a role, we can certainly assist with that. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ryan.
Okay, I'll just go back to the Employ Me platform. This is the one where you can actually build your resume and your CV. So we've got a CV cover letter builder in there. There's also a whole range of different questionnaires you can answer. So these are typically things you might want to use to prepare for, say, involved in an assessment centre with a graduate program. They'll probably be asking questions about your personality, your strengths and your skills. So it gives you a chance to preempt that and find out what they are before you go into an assessment centre. So we have a number of those available on EmployMe. We've got the interview practice tool, as I mentioned earlier, the interview simulator. We have a whole range of interesting industry reports by study areas. So you can actually locate the degree in which you're studying, and we match that to jobs, advertise that correlate to the skills of that degree, and we show you what employers have been advertising jobs over a 12-month period, and we give you some idea about who they are, what states they appear in, so just to give you some more information about when you're targeting employers. And you can also log in to receive our free weekly Careers and Employability newsletter, which has up-to-date articles and just things that are going on in the world of careers.
Amazing.
Okay, I think we're just about getting there. Just quickly, the Graduate Research to Industry series, we're excited about that. It begins this month. We're starting off on the 20th of August, and we have a series of workshops and insight groups and a symposium specifically for graduate researchers. So we're looking, when we say that, Masters by Research and PhD are welcome to come along to these events, and we'll have some great alumni members in the insight groups talking about their career journey and we then cover the specific ways to address their selection criteria, writing a professional cover letter and resume, and to identify the skills that are transferable and what employers are actually looking for. Surprisingly, employers love these kind of skills because these are the kind of skills that take them into the future. The higher level cognitive skills are in demand by employers. So again, have a look at that if you're in that group and you would like to come along. We would welcome you there and be great to see you there. So that's all from me. So thanks again for listening today, and I'm happy to take any questions and answer them later, again, if I can't answer them today, but best wishes for the rest of the seminar today, and I might see some of you in appointments and at workshops.